Hello and welcome to another video. This one features an Asus C300. This is the SA variant, and it's a Chromebook. And what is a fairly common problem with these, and really a lot of kit today, is that the power sockets are really not up to scratch, especially when they're being used by kids. Plugging chargers in and out and whatever, which is the case with this one. I've actually got a few of these to repair, but I thought it would be quite useful to sort of share replacing the sockets with you, as it's fairly involved. So you can see here the top one is the one I've just done, and you can see that's perfect, and it's received full charge now, absolutely fine. The bottom one, you can see, it's not happy. There's a bit of metal that's sort of standing proud. You can just see it at the bottom of the shot there, touching the center pin, and yeah, that is not going to be good. You can sometimes get away with just pushing that down, but it just gets pulled back out or back up, or damaged some other way as soon as the charger cable is pulled out again. So yeah, it needs to be changed. Okay, so let's crack on. So first of all, take all the screws out, and a little bit more difficult for me at the minute because I've got the camera right in front of me. Now what I do with the screws, invariably they are different lengths. I mean, this isn't too bad, but some laptops you can get it that majority of screws are just different lengths. So you want to get it right so you don't damage any of the plastics. So what I do is I draw with the screws a sort of grid, if you like, of where they all go relative to how I've got the laptop, and then I just remember as I go back, putting it together, which way I had the laptop. So in this case, Chromebook. And there are no hidden screws on these, so there's nothing underneath these. You don't have to worry about taking those off. Some devices you do. So, and now, this is now clipped. Of course it's come on. That's fine. Yeah, it's complaining the battery's flat. So it just unclips like so. And then just be a bit careful because there are the connectors, and basically you can see this, the little black bits just flick up. I've actually tugged on that one a little bit because I've been trying to get it into good position so you can see. So there's the keyboard and trackpad. Now, what we've got to do now, first things first, disconnect the battery. Like so. And then I need to take the battery out. So these I'll just put around because I've moved forward now, so don't mix up these screws with the other screws. In this case I'm just putting them to each side respectively. this up. Just undo that with the Wi-Fi card. I just unscrew it, unplug it, just leave it. Unplug this. There's actually a little bit of plastic that's broken off. That. I guess it doesn't look like it's come off that. I'll put that to one side. It might reveal itself as being critical as we go along. Yes, so take the battery out. Just leave it there for a second because it makes it top heavy. So inner, and then 2. One, and then there is a hidden screw, and that hidden screw is under this tape, which can be a bit of a fiddle to get off sometimes. So it should come off quite well. And then, you have to remove the screws out of this hinge. You don't have to take the whole thing off. I think the first time I did this, I actually did do that. And then just pull off the tape so we can unplug the screen connector. Just pulls out. Take the heatsink off. Take the battery out of the way. Oh, I missed a screw because there's a screw underneath the heatsink plate. It's another shorty. And there we go. So there's the board out. So what I used to do is actually just desolder this wholesale as a whole unit. That is fairly difficult to do tidily, and B, puts an awful lot of heat through the board. So what I do now is I just cut the legs, and if you try and leave as much of the leg as possible, it does make it easier. Because you've got something just to pull on. Typically on this one, the last one I did was actually a bit better, but this is actually really well, very flush to the board. So I couldn't cut through these very easily, but I got there. This one, you can just about, if you've got small enough cutters, you can get into to snip that. Make sure you do snip that. You can see there I've got something to pull on with those, a little bit there maybe. So yeah, let's get this desoldered. didn't record all of that because it was just terrible. But I have managed to now get it off pretty cleanly, and had problems with these two prongs here. It just would not release. So, but yeah, it's all done now, so it's all good. So, new sockets. And that mounts on the board like so. And all the holes are actually nicely opened up, so that's sitting really nicely. And you can see that main power one barely pokes through the board. That is correct. It is very short, but of course it makes a connection on the top of the board as well. So you just have to make sure you can put, oh, there is solder on the top. Just turn that over and check it's going through, which, yeah, it sort of has. That's it. I tend to put some just on the outer legs at the front. I don't worry about the others so much. And a little bit on that one. And that one hasn't got much on it at all. I'm going to do them all. The solder hasn't flowed through as well as it usually does. So that's it. Lovely. I have actually managed to smear the thermal paste on there, but they're not very precious about how they actually put the thermal paste on in the factory. So yeah, it's not brilliant. So with the socket on, let's get this back together. So it's pretty much just the reverse of taking it apart. And let's make sure everything's out of the way before we push this right in, which it is. Connect these now. And slightly longer screw for the wireless adapter. Short screw under here. I just noticed that under. So I want to trap that. So I'm just using the battery just to stop the laptop from falling backwards because the screen is much heavier than the base of the unit without the battery in it. So battery does help to keep things steady. Put the screen on next. They put little triangular arrows where you need to put the screws in internally. That screw there is one of the case screws that goes up and through. Same on this side. So before I put the battery in, I need to put the heatsink on. But I need to put some thermal paste on first, which I haven't got to hand, so I'll do that and put this on. Right, so that's on. Next thing is put these additional screws in, put the battery in. And I know I probably shouldn't overrun. Right, so that's done. We best plug in the battery. Just pull that back so it's connected, and then lift up these. And you won't be able to see this, but it's literally just push them in. The trackpad has a line on it to show roughly how far, or that you've pushed it in enough for it to bite and drop down, and the line should be, when you push the tab back down, should be right up to that tab. So let it fire up. How much is in the battery? I suppose we ought to plug it in. We've got a light, that's good. Yeah, that's coming on. There we go. Perfect. So it's working. So now we know it's working. Time to press this down. Sure it's all down there. Oh, turned it on. That doesn't matter, because all we have to do now is put the screws in. So, and of course we did the screws in order. So back ones first, I suppose. No particular order. Don't be afraid if you hear a few crunching noises, because sometimes the tabs on the top don't quite fully seat. So there we go, all done. And proof of the pudding, you see the connector here. This connector, because it has the little ridge on the barrel, when these bottom tabs do go, they'll get caught on there and pull out. So there we go, sorted. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and please do subscribe. I'll do some more sort of IT type stuff, and yeah, just various repairs of bits of kit. So yeah, look forward to seeing you in another video. Bye for now.